Guys, and welcome to another episode of Reality Wrap. Today we're talking about a lot of housewives things. We have some Married at First Wife content to get into.
I had to put together all these things that ended up being lies, right?
And we're also talking about the 90-day, the single life tell-all that never ends. Let us start with that, Shawnee.
Let's start with that. Okay, so last week I tuned into what was part 4 of the 90-day, the single life tell-all. It's still going. There's a part 5.
They're trying to make history. I've never watched a reunion with 5 parts ever in my life.
Has there ever been one? I don't think there's been one. What they're doing is trying to squeeze every single advertising dollar
that they
out
can.
of this tell-all without having to pay cast.
Right.
Let's hear it. Because we already know that they get a flat fee to do the tell-all.
And so they would have got one flat fee.
Right. Or 25 parts, they've already paid the cast.
I love it. That's funny. What did you think of the tell-all? I think I saw John. Is it John proposing to his girlfriend?
He did.
That.
How sweet.
That was, you know what's interesting? When they were showing the preview of this 1,000 part tell-all, I thought it was Josh that was proposing to Natalie. The way they did the preview, I was thinking to myself, wait, why would he propose it? They tricked me. I was convinced because they showed him like down, like on his knee. I mean, he could have been just bending down to tie his lace, but the way they did it.
I mean, that's probably, you know how editing is. That's probably what really happened. Like, oh my God.
I was like, oh, it was John. Those tricky little editors.
I mean, that was sweet.
Yeah.
I really wanted to talk about the whole Tim, Jamal, Veronica, Luisa thing.
Gosh.
Because what a total train wreck. I mean, first of all, Luisa took the absolute low road again and accused him of being gay.
I really think that you are gay.
Oh.
We've been down that road. He's explained himself 1,000 billion.
We've been down that road every episode that Tim is on. Like every time.
And like, listen, just because he doesn't want to sleep with you doesn't mean he's gay.
Exactly.
And then there was the whole Jamal and Veronica thing. Remember how nastily he broke up with her? Well, they've got backstage like recording of Jamal and Luisa talking about a possible hookup.
I just like remember the little things.
What, last night? We did that a couple times.
Right. Persons are saying that it seemed like those two hooked up. And if they did, I feel like Luisa would totally do it for revenge. Because when I'm watching her on stage, it's like she's just saying things. You can tell she was hurt by how everything went down.
And I think she didn't like the rejection. She really thought that she would, like, have Tim run in circles around her, and Tim's not that kind of guy.
And the rejection on national TV is what I especially think is probably an ego, you know. And so when I'm hearing her talk, it just seemed like she's just saying everything to be hurtful. So I would not be surprised if she slept with Jamal just to be like, yeah, because she knows how Tim despises Jamal.
Why would Jamal do it except that he's just young and
Jamal is a child? So Jamal is doing it because he's 12. We warned Veronica that she should have never gotten herself in this mess. Do you see how messy this is? I'm telling you, it's embarrassing because Veronica has no business in this mess. It's just not her. She's never been messy. And because of Jamal, now look at her in this mess and this embarrassing breakup. And like, for what? Because we could have seen you on Pillow Talk anyway. You could have been on TV anyway. You didn't need to do this. So I'm like, I told you, Veronica, I love you, but I told you. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, hate to be the right one, but we're right.
And also, Stevie Wonder saw this coming. Like, nobody saw them and thought,
right?
This is the match made in heaven.
Perfect couple. Right.
Like
we knew that was coming.
No, we knew it was gonna. I mean, he did apologize. I don't know if that's gonna be in part 1,000, but I saw a clip where he apologized. Did that play out already?
I mean, Honestly, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they were talking backstage too. He was trying to hook up with Veronica after part 4.
Like he was
they were doing
flirting.
that too.
I
And she
saw.
was like, no, I have to check up on Tim. And he was giving her all kinds of trouble. Like, it's always Tim. It's always, well, I mean, they've been friends a lot longer than she's known you.
Right.
So,
And also, but I will say this. I think Tim and Veronica maybe need to look at this friendship if they want to have a real relationship. Because if this friendship, Jamal really could care less about Jamal. But if I don't know how her other relationships have been in terms of Tim's involvement. But
right.
if your friendship with Tim is becoming because it shouldn't even be an issue. If this is my friend, I don't see
Right.
Tim and Veronica. I don't see any love, that sort of thing between them.
Right.
So it could be that Jamal is just young and jealous.
I mean,
right?
it is a huge sign of immaturity to
Right.
not be able to handle your partner's other relationships,
Right.
you know?
And also, I don't know how Veronica is if there's something that probably she needs to change and set some boundaries in that relationship as well. Like, I don't know. It could be that, but I don't see
I really
that.
don't
I don't
think
really,
so.
right. I don't think so either. I really
I mean, I
don't.
think that because they were both on the single life, that their relationship, it was a little bit like exaggerated.
And also,
in real life, it's not like they're at each other's houses every day.
all
Like,
the right, because
they're just
even
people that look out
Jamal,
for each other and stay in touch and they're friends.
because
It's
even Jamal said, like he said it, like, y'all are acting like you're so close, but you're talking behind each other's back and you don't see her child. So it means that it's not like Tim is there morning, noon, and night.
no.
So it seems like the problem is Jamal, and he's just immature. And keep in mind, now that they're filming, they're setting up situations for all of them to hang out, which makes no sense to Jamal. He's like, why am I on a date with you and Tim's
Right.
girlfriend?
Right.
I mean, because production says,
It's good for TV.
right. Also, Jamal needs to, like, sir, if you want to be on TV, get with the program. You know we're here because production says we're going on a date. You know that's why we're here.
Right.
So stop asking me why we're here. You know,
The whole
but
thing was messy and
the whole
not
thing was,
necessary. I don't know. I feel like this single life and everything about it is so contrived and plotted and
yeah,
almost to the point of like scripted.
yeah.
On that same line, I wanted to talk about Debbie and Ruben, the Cuban,
Okay. Yes.
and the contrived. I mean, that whole like getting up and showing it off his Debbie boxers. It was a lot.
Yeah.
There is a story coming. I'm working on it right now. So by the time this comes out, it should be published. Y'all go look for it.
With Debbie and Ruben.
About Debbie and Ruben.
Mhm.
It's turning out that, or I should say there are allegations that Debbie is a fraud and she and Ruben have never had a relationship. And the whole thing was contrived from the beginning to get her on the single life. So I'll be showing
Okay.
some proof of
And did
that.
Ruben know this, or was he
Yes.
in on it?
He absolutely knew.
Okay. Okay. So they're both frauds
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
for TV time.
for TV time.
I'm not shocked.
Not shocked at all.
surprised.
And I think that it's mostly centered around, I mean, they both knew going into this what it was. And now Debbie is on social media screaming that Ruben is a scammer and Ruben is a fraud.
They're
And
turning against each other when they both plan it.
right. And I guess that's the story, is that she really should not be saying all that when there's going to be some proof out there that she may be a fraud and a scammer too.
Shawnee.
And also that this is not very real, that it's all very like, hey, if you want to be on the single life, go find somebody to be on it with you.
But also at this
Ew.
point, TLC doesn't care whether we know it's fake or not. TLC could care less. It's like, yeah, they don't care. They're gonna keep churning out these shows. And if you want to believe it, believe it. And if
Hey,
you
as long
don't,
as we're tuning in, they don't care. And that's
they
the thing.
really don't. They really do not care. Watch it. Don't I mean, they know you're gonna watch it because what else are you watching?
Of course we're gonna watch it. There's nothing else on. Like literally nothing else on, which is our
Shawnee.
segue to Real Housewives, because there's
Shawnee.
on.
No. Actually, before we go to Real Housewives, Shawnee, since we're speaking about frauds, I have to jump on Married at First Sight real quick because this is the worst season of Married at First Sight. This is going to go down as the worst season.
And they won't let it go.
But here's the thing, Shawnee. So I'm watching the reunion last night, part 1 of the reunion, right? Turns out we were watching the show and thinking, so it's bad enough that none of the marriages are working out. But also, it also wasn't entertaining. You know, like Chris's season with Paige, like the marriages were going to hell, but we were entertained. This time, we're bored, but the marriages are, so we're wondering what's going on. As it turns out, the entire cast came together, had a plan to fake the entire thing, which is why we were watching and wondering what on earth is happening. So then now they start turning on each other. And so the reunion is the most exciting reunion I've seen in a while. Because now it's all coming out. And next week we're gonna see the expert, because everybody was scammed. They scammed the producers because they were like,
this is so messy.
Johnny, they were like, we don't. So now it's men against women. So the women are upset and saying it was the men who came up with it and they had no choice but to follow along. So it's literally like men on one side, women on one side. And then next week, we're going to see the experts because they know we're scammed because they had no idea about this. And I'm wondering if they're going to bring on the producers who were also scammed and had no idea about any of this.
Here's the thing though, did they really not have any idea? Because with as many hours as they film, how is that possible?
Because that's the thing. Even with the story that came out today with Cameron and Clare, where they planned it like on their phone, they planned what they're gonna film. So like they're like, all right, tomorrow we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna talk about why we don't like each other. We're gonna talk about why we're getting a divorce. Like
they do that anyway though.
And it was so boring. They should have just let the producers do it because the producers would have at least entertained us with the fake thing. Their fake thing was so lame. Word.
Here's more proof that now, like I think at first reality TV was very real back in the days of the Real World.
Way back.
Brand new.
Way back.
But now reality TV is not real. It's not real.
But also, it's one thing to be fake and entertain me. Why are you boring me with something fake? Like if you're going to write a script, can you write an entertaining script for me? Like seriously, next time. Let the producers do the fake storylines because they at least give us something to watch.
They know what they're doing at least.
Shawnee, it was, listen, just insane. I cannot wait for this season. Persons are even saying they should have just not bothered to air the season. Like the conversation is hilarious. They're like, no,
they can't do that though because
they have so advertisers waiting who paid for airtime for an entire season. They're like, they shouldn't bother paying. You see, if it was me, Shawnee, none of them not getting a dime. I would not pay.
I mean, the thing is that might truly happen because
I'm wondering if it's
not a secret that Connecticut has, they will sue you. It's in the contracts. The contracts have been exposed before and they will take you to court. They will refuse to pay you. They will arbitrate.
That's what I'm thinking. But I'm wondering, Shawnee, if that's because even between Cameron and Clare, you know what Cameron told Clare? What they're planning, that they're not going to sign the marriage certificate. He's like, oh, there's a way for us to even not be married at all. Because apparently when they get the marriage certificate, they have 30 days to sign it. So he was like, let's just drag it out. Because if we don't sign it within the 30 days, then it just becomes... It was just insane. Like the whole thing that they were planning was, I think I would, and it was all because... And it's all because they wanted to get paid and not like, sir, just do what everybody else does. Come on the show. If the marriage work, it work. If it don't work, but at least you're in it.
Above board, right? Do it right.
You know, and it was just
this is more proof of exactly why Married at First Sight lost me several seasons ago, because I started watching the show wanting to see these arranged marriages work. I wanted to see the experts choose people that had things in common and see these things work. And I mean, I realized that it's more profitable to them to have this explosive, crazy, wild season, but it's just not fun.
But also, Shawnee, the producers are already doing that. They're already choosing people who are going to bring the drama, right? You don't need to do anything else when you're on, sir. We don't need you to plot anything. The producers already gave.
They've already got it plotted. They know, right?
The producers already gave the experts these social media wannabes that they have to rifle through and pick from already.
Right, and you know, in casting, there's already been reports of it, and the cast members themselves have said.
Yeah,
a lot of the men, they don't apply for the show.
No, they were scouted. Yeah, but they even post the casting thing online, like, "Hey, do you want to be on TV? Do you want to like?"
Right.
You know,
but it's more than that. Like they go seek people out. Like, hey, do you want to marry a stranger on TV?
Sure do. Sign me up.
Yeah, never. Knowing what we know and the fact that they're not going to actually be put with anybody that has anything in common with them. I mean, they straight up, like, at this point, they've got these singles telling the experts exactly what they do and don't want, and they're getting exactly the opposite.
Yeah,
like,
I want a tall guy. All right, I'm gonna give you a little person. That's gonna be funny. Or like whatever you ask for, you're getting the opposite.
Right? Or whatever you are, you're getting the opposite. They'll take straight up like religious, super conservative, and put him with the most not conservative person. Like, come on, man. We don't need work. So
I will tell the experts I need a Christian man, and they will give me a man who says Satan is the Lord. Satan is his Lord. That's what they're giving me.
And then they'll be like, and roll.
All right.
Filming.
Like, really, guys? And as if we didn't notice, like, stop it. But already they're doing that, is what I'm saying. You don't need to do anything else, ma'am and sirs. We don't need you to do, you don't need.
I mean, the concept itself is interesting. Like, let it ride.
It's two strangers who don't know anything about each other, and now you are married. That is enough to cause some sort of drama. It's okay.
We can get a show out of that. We don't have to fake it.
We don't need you to be plotting and planning. You're a little lame. It's so lame. The worst part about it, Johnny, is I'm sitting through this foolishness that you planned is what really upsets me. Like, you plan to bore me all season with this nonsense. I'm offended, and nobody.
Possibly, like, I know you've been writing a lot about how Chloe is like the odd woman out or whatever. Is it possibly because she wasn't in on all of this?
She wasn't in because she joined the show late, right? She joined because she got married so late. And if you know, Chloe's just not part of the clique at all. They wear pink. They have this pink pact. Chloe wears a different color deliberately every time. She's just black.
Was it deliberate or was she just left out?
I think she was left out, but I also think when I'm watching the show, Chloe is even though at first persons were like, she's an actress, I'm now seeing Chloe is the only lunatic who actually thought she was going to find a husband on the show. Chloe's the only one who thought this was all real and was like, I'm going to find the love of my life. And no, she's so she is, you know, and she just doesn't want to be a part of the nonsense, because even when she's around the girls and they're bashing the guys, she just kind of listens and doesn't really participate. Chloe is just emotionally mature, and so is Michael, even when they're because they're not together. And even when they're talking, there's no vitriol, there's no deep-rooted hatred like the men and the women.
There shouldn't be, because it's not like they're ever a real couple. Like, you just co-star.
But also, Chloe thought she was in a real relationship, right?
She hoped, but
she wanted to.
Regardless, still co-stars on a reality show until you decide that you want to make it actually a relationship.
And she did, and Michael did.
Why be mad?
Yeah, but they're mad because once you have a plan and one person starts talking about the plan and pointing the finger on you, no, you're mad because you're like, excuse me, we all planned this. How are you saying? So it's the girls saying it's the guys and the guys saying it's the girls, and they're all just upset.
A hot mess. That's a hot mess.
I want to hear the experts next in part 2, which could be 10 years from now.
They're not casting these people.
They're not, and also they can't say that either. So they have to take the brunt of this, of all the backlash. They're getting it, but truth be told, they don't really have anything to do. Anyway, let's move on to Housewives, because I'm forced now to watch.
Yeah, on to the Housewives, which there are none of.
There's not one. There is Potomac that is just the worst season in Bravo.
Like I said.
right. So there's nothing.
Do you think that this lull in Housewives is simply because they're not ready for another season yet, because they're still editing it? Or do you think it's because we have housewife fatigue and they're trying to like wait until there's like, you know, like give us a break so that we can build up some like excitement about it?
They're giving us a break. I think they're trying to not let Bravo be only about Housewives, which is what it has
for years
become.
it's been
Right.
Housewives.
So I think they deliberately did it because Jersey has been done for a while, and Dubai
Jersey's coming back like what, next
Jersey's
month?
May, yeah, and Dubai is June. So
The
Jersey,
thing is, though, I'm not excited about Jersey because Andy's already said a few times that
yeah,
the way that they're filming and not interacting with each other is not sustainable going forward.
yeah.
I don't want to see a whole bunch more people not talking to each other.
Which is what we saw on Potomac, and it did not work. It
doesn't work. And we saw it last season on Jersey too. All these people that won't interact with each other. And now apparently it's even worse. They still won't interact, and it's even more of a divide than ever.
Exactly.
That's not a show.
That's 2 shows that I don't need to watch 2 different shows. No. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Do you think that they're gonna fire both of them? Or who do you think would most likely get fired? Melissa or Teresa, or both?
I think it really depends on what happens this season and which one of them is or isn't willing to film, you know, like who's saying no. I think Teresa is and always will be a bigger ratings draw, especially with the Louis drama that's coming.
Yeah. Even though she says it has nothing to do. She says there is no drama and she and Louis are perfect and it's editing.
Or of course it's editing. And if she's going to blame editing and say it's all about them, they're not going to keep her around. So,
right?
So Teresa's out here saying that Bravo's faking it. Maybe they'll just recast everybody and do a big reboot. I mean, that would be
like I would prefer that, to be honest.
At this point, maybe it's time.
I think, Shawty, these people, they have nothing else to churn out. That's the thing. And then Bravo also said, Andy also said, we're going to be seeing a lot more of Gia. And I don't want to see more of Gia because Gia's not a housewife. She's a child. Give Gia her own show with the teeny boppers and her age group. Why would I want to see Gia? More of Gia doing what? Defending her mom?
Right.
That is not working for me. All right, in other Housewives news this week, Rihanna stepped into the ring and she was talking about, and you know I love me some Rihanna, but every now and then she's wrong. And this is one of the moments she's talking about. She wants Monica Garcia back on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. No, ma'am. No, thank you.
For what?
No, I'm like, yeah, for what? She's like, if Sandoval can return to Pump Rules, no. Pump Rules.
That makes no sense. Like, I mean, Sandoval needs to go too. So
listen, they all
bad take, Rihanna. I'm sorry.
Brenda, I love you, and you've never been wrong about anything except in this moment. This is the first time you've been wrong. Please stop saying.
I don't love the way you lie, Rihanna.
We do love the way you lie, Chris. But also, with news that came out today, we won't be seeing Monica on anything anytime soon because it came out that she's pregnant. She just announced that she was pregnant with her 4th child.
Congratulations to her. Not exciting, but I'm excited.
She's not, and also I hate when people are pregnant on the show. It's so boring to me. You can't drink, you can't have fun, you can't travel, you can't get off my screen.
Just come back in a few months.
Just go relax at home. I hate when because they can't do anything really. Right. So no, Monica, and they wanted her on Traitors. Monica, no, I don't even think she can do Traitors if she's. So bye, Monica. It's been real.
I think of better housewives to do Traitors.
I mean, we can. All of them would be better than Monica.
I want Candy one of them. Traitors.
Another celebrity that stepped into the housewife. I think let me tell you what's going on, Shawnee. Because there's no housewives on TV right now. We're all delusional and just losing our minds and saying crazy things.
We're desperate for drama.
So I'm going to forgive Rihanna. And I'm also going to forgive Christina Applegate, who just was in a tizzy online. Oh my gosh, Robin is not coming back to Potomac. She's my favorite housewife of all time.
Does she watch the show?
Shawnee, I think Christina Applegate.
She's not even my favorite housewife of Potomac.
Shawnee, she watched season 1 and never watched it again. She's not watched past season 1. Shawnee of all.
Did Robin send her some hats or something? Like, what is going on?
Robin sent her some of those silk lined hats for the edges.
I need to know why, because I name all the housewives before I would name her.
Robin,
I mean, she's a nice lady, but no.
Shawnee, there are 8 housewives in Potomac, and Robin is now my 8th favorite housewife. So let's just see that. Robin, if it was me, season 3, gone. Robin would have been gone. Robin gives us absolutely nothing at all. Robin is riding on Giselle's coattails.
She had so much potential to give us a whole bunch of
she's actually married.
Not to.
Robin actually is married. She's actually a housewife, and she gives us absolutely nothing. And the husband doesn't help. That Robin is at this reunion again by herself with an empty couch when she has a husband at home with no job, and she's the only breadwinner. Put on your little tuxedo jacket and get on the reading
Not
stage.
like you had anything better to do. No.
Every season
He just didn't want to be put on blast and questioned about his constant infidelity.
But what does that say about him? Because she's now gonna have to answer for his infidelity. Who does that to their wife? Shawnee, let me tell you, if it was me, I'm gonna say you are gonna put on your little black bow tie and your little black jackets, and you are gonna sit.
Brought yourself out to that couch.
On that, and
you better sit down like it's the coach's bench.
And you were gonna answer every question there. Like, what are we doing here? Who's the breadwinner here?
I mean, not just that, but like, if you're gonna stay with somebody that like cheats and then cheats and then cheats some more, the least he could do is go answer to it. You know,
prop your little self on the stool behind me and say whatever you need to say and stop making me look like a fool. This is not a negotiation, Juan. You are coming to the reunion. It was insane. Right. And what was even more insane was Robin's audacity to be questioning Candace's husband, who shows up every year. So, you know, there was a rumor about Chris that a woman claims she had an affair with him and she had like this penis photo, supposedly. 2 minutes later, she goes online and was like, oh, I made it all up. It's fake, right? That lasted 5 minutes. Didn't take off. Robin on the couch. So that wasn't a photo of your penis. So that wasn't you. So
all the people that should be silent right then.
Shawnee, I would just be mute. I'd be like my voice. I would not speak. I'm just trying to keep my job. I wouldn't speak to a husband. The word husband wouldn't leave my lips. I would just be there, just happy to be there. Not Robin.
Not Robin. The audacity.
It was instant. I was watching it like, is this the Twilight Zone? Is Robin asking this woman's husband about cheating? The jokes on Twitter kept me, I rolled on the floor reading these comments. Because everybody's like, wait a minute now.
I know, right?
Juan told
Let's
Robin.
Circle back. We've got questions for you.
You're not asking one question, but you're asking Chris Bassett, and then Chris was just like, Chris was deep.
Of course.
Chris was done with it. And I think that is the moment I realized that Candace was over it. Like, I could just tell that she just felt very defeated on the stage. And he said something that was like, it made me realize this is the truth. Because, you know, Candace says a lot, right? She has a sharp tongue, which I love and some people don't. But I realized that every time they come at the reunion, everybody wants Candace to take accountability. And she does. But why is Robin and Giselle not being asked to do the same thing?
Because they have each other's backs.
She made up this wild accusation about this man. So wild. And then they just let it go. Candace didn't even do anything this season and they're still on Candace. Candace did absolutely nothing and they're still asking, like, what more can this woman do? So
because it deflects from the huge amount of nothing that they're doing.
They have. So I feel, when I was looking at Candace, I just felt like I really wish she would have gone out with a bang. Like, this was not her best reunion, but I could. Yeah, but I could tell that she was just like, I don't care. I'm over it. And and also I could see why Robin was also fired, because this is the moment for you to, all right, accountability now. Here's what I think.
I mean,
blah,
it's
blah,
been
blah.
that moment for several seasons now. Like,
And
do
she this was her last chance. They gave her the season to do that, and then they gave her the reunion to do that, and she gave us nothing. And I don't think they wanted to fire Robin. Production loves Giselle and Robin. They love those two. I don't know why. But I think at this point they had no choice, because she's giving them nothing to work with. And then Juan not showing up.
Right. Well, I mean, Giselle should be interesting in a season without her sidekick.
I think Giselle is gonna be refreshing without Robin. I think we're gonna get fun.
What has she even been giving?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just everybody else's husbands that she never has. Just everybody else's man. She just chooses a husband every season and targets them, and then sits back and gets away with it. I think she and Karen are gonna link up, because Karen is the only person that realizes she's at work.
Well, Karen's gonna be her on her side next season. So
by the way, did you see? No, you probably didn't see. So Giselle walks out at the reunion. Giselle gets first chair every year. Giselle is ready to sit, and it's like they say, "No, ma'am, you ain't sitting there." So they put her in the middle. So then Giselle was like, "So who's sitting here?" And it was like, Karen. She's like, "Okay," but you could tell. I feel like this is production.
No, she was mad.
And I feel like this was production's way of saying, "We love you, but you gotta step it up, kid." She was acting nonchalant. Giselle has never been second. She's been first year every single year, even when she has nothing to give us. She just is. Giselle was shook, but trying not to be shook, because they were taping even when they were walking on, and she was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that was a message.
That was a message to say, "Ma'am, you're not just gonna not give us anything and be beside Andy Cohen."
Step it up, or you'll
and
be
Mia was on the other side with her husband and her side man and Mia's a mess.
She had this whole story this season. Like, that is the story.
Mia secured herself for next season. We don't know who's coming back, but we know Mia's coming back, because
she deserved it. That was wild.
She also, but Mia just lies, just breathes. Every time she takes a breath, she just lies. She lies about the most. She reminds me of like a man. You know, like they just lie for no reason. Like, "Hey, where were you today?" And they're just like, "I was in Kingston. I saw you in Montego Bay." You don't have to lie. It's not that big of a deal. And that's Mia. She just lies for no reason at all. It's hilarious. Mia just like, what? Mia blows my mind and doesn't care. She just lies, and she's just there like, yeah. I don't know. I think though, Gordon said their tease for part 3 is that Gordon is going to make an announcement. Now, we know they're not together. We know she has a new man. We know that the man thinks her son is the man's son and not Gordon's. We know all of this. I feel like I was reading, and it seems like people think he has cancer and it's bad. And they're thinking that's like it's terminal. I think like I was reading.
That would make her look terrible.
No, you see, when in the last episode she's been saying, "I've been sending you money, Gordon," like she's taking care of him because he has no money now because of the whole thing with his family. So I think she's actually taking care of him, like financially, and it would explain why she's so I think it's something sad. And I thought he was just sad because of the divorce and your wife is publicly cheating. He looks a little ill. And most persons are thinking he has cancer. Yeah.
Well, we're going to find out.
I'm hoping that's not it, but yeah. It's very sad. But either way, Mia will be back next season with her two men, with her main man and her side man, who's now her husband. So she had her husband and her main man, and now the husband is the side man, and she switched him out for the side man, who's now the main man.
Mess.
That's how you do it, Sean. That's how you do it, Sean.
So some people do it.
And that's how Mia does it, baby girl. That's Mia. So Mia is back, baby. So Giselle, You're gonna have to step it up. You don't have
Oh,
Robin.
Otis, we need to know more about Giselle's man or men.
She doesn't have a man.
She needs to find one.
But she finds one.
Better do something.
She finds this random, like this Jason guy that she was dating that nobody believed they were actually. Let me tell you something. You see, when persons are dating, she was dating this Jason guy from Summer House. He was on Summer House. This young guy she was dating. Giselle comes on Watch What Happens Live, and they're like, so what's up with you and Jason? Oh, he can do whatever he wants, where we're not putting a label on it. Let me say something. You see, when a girl says he can do whatever he wants, you're not doing whatever you want. It means you're with him and he's with 10 other people.
It means you're looking silly.
It means you look ridiculous because, and then even on the reunion, they're like, Jason was spotted kissing a blonde woman. And she was like, yeah, he can do whatever. We're too grown. Giselle, you have 3 kids and you're grown. We're not doing whatever. We're not doing whatever. We passed the doing whatever moment.
Right. This is the like, do it right or be gone.
And she's acting like nonchalant, like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell a grown man what to do.
So tell him to kick rocks. That's what you do.
But she doesn't have time to kick rocks. He's already kicking rocks, and all
I mean, she'd have no storyline if she did that. Like stand your ground. Now you have no
episodes just there, and I'm like, okay, because persons are saying you never have a man on the show, so now she drags this poor guy. Well, he wanted to be on TV.
Screaming Kenya Moore. Remember when she did that?
Giselle does it every season. Yeah.
This is her Walter.
Walter was. Listen, that was. I cannot wait for Atlanta, by the way, to come back.
I think it's gonna be good. I say that every season, and every season I'm like, oh, here we go again.
I actually do. I don't know.
I think it'll be good.
But we don't even know who's coming back.
I think it's do or die time. If they don't make it good,
we're gonna have to move on. We're gonna have to move on, Shawnee, if it's not good. And right. I don't know what move on means, but
it means that it's going to go the way of Dallas eventually, and we're just not going to have it because what's the point of filming if they don't make any money?
Yeah, we can't do Dallas. We'll have to do the way of Roni, which is recast.
You hope.
We want to see, we can't have the all black cast going the way of Dallas. That's going to leave only Potomac. You know what I mean?
Right.